this. Why is this one not subscribed? Oh yeah, live.
Oh, there we go. Cool. Awesome. We are live.
I got one watching now.
Cool. All right, welcome to the stream. We're back again to, we'll be taking a look at all the major cryptocurrency prices. We'll be doing a bit of price predictions. We'll be looking at the major charts. Currency prices. We'll be doing now the three cryptocurrencies we'll mainly be looking at today is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. Will sort of be a lot's been going on over the last week, and a lot will be happening over the next week. I'm here with ShizoCrypto over here. He's back again.
How many people go in the chat? Just one. It's alright.
Not bad.
Wait for the audience to go up. Which chat? Shall I send it to you?
Control group chat.
Oh, yes.
Alrighty.
Oh, wait. I think one viewer. Why is this one so MC?
It's good.
Yep.
What should we do? Should we just jump
Bring up the Cardano chart.
on here?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to jump off and do?
Yeah.
I'll jump through. Alright. Hey guys, how we going? Alright. Cardano. I reckon we first and foremost look at the Cardano charts, definitely. I think that's the biggest news in crypto we've got.
Hey, James is
Right
in
now.
chat. Boys, what's good?
Wait, let me bring up the chat on this side. Where's the chat here?
Welcome, James.
We got James DeGrory in chat. James, what are your biggest holdings at the moment? Did you gain any from this Cardano bull run? Or are you still looking at that Ethereum 2.0? I reckon we bring up, can we get the ADA Ethereum spread on here? I think this is going to be an important one to look at over recent times. 15 minutes. Doge to the moon? Still holding that Doge, are you, James? Come on, load up for me. This is definitely the steepest we've seen Cardano take back from Ethereum in a long time. Let's see how steep this one was. Let's see how big and how steep this one was from back in 7th of July 2017. And just see exactly what we're dealing with in comparison to what we're currently seeing. James, are you hearing any reverbs from the aircon? Or is the audio alright? So that's a 38.48% increase in 1 day and 8 hours. Let's see what we're looking at here.
Yeah, I can do that.
How's that, James? Okay, so currently we're looking at a 64.93% increase in 2 days and 12 hours compared to last short-term bringback, which was 38% in 1 day. Let's see if we can find a bigger one as well, just through Binance. Let's see how long this one lasted for. So that's a lot. That's a definitely longer term one. That's an 83% take back from. Thanks, James. 83% take back from Cardano against Ethereum. Yeah, I mean, historically, I don't think Cardano is going to be a bad hedge against Ethereum for the short term, because I think we're still moving into price discovery for Ethereum. I still think Cardano is probably a good alternative to buy, even at the current price. I think we'll still see it at least gaining value against Ethereum in the short term and potentially over the year. I don't really want to open up any articles or videos while waiting for Jamie. So we got 8 people here now.
Not bad.
Bear with us, guys. Right now we're just looking at the charts, and then we'll get into some good hard news that's been happening recently. Got some really awesome stuff. We've got Elon, who's been interviewed by TMZ. I think it was just a random pull up on the street, and yeah, I'm excited to see what Jamie says to that, because I don't think he's watched it yet, but I've watched it. Have you seen that yet, James? Elon's interview with TMZ? Let's look at the Cardano against Bitcoin graph real quick. Let's just see how much value it's taken off Bitcoin. See where we're headed with that. Go straight to the 15-minute charts. Let's look at the 1 day. I'd say look at the 1 day just so we can compare it against last year. Honestly, we should have seen this coming. This trend since early Jan of just Cardano taking back value from the big boy. Just super steady. Huge decline in 2019. That's around April. We saw another run up, the value taken back of Cardano around late Feb. When's this one set? In December. Honestly, we could see this happen again. I still think Bitcoin's going to run into all-time highs within the next couple of months. So this is what I think we're likely to see against Cardano or Bitcoin over the short term, especially with this massive hyperbolic run-up. I don't think it can sustain for much longer. What do you have to say about this?
Oh, the Cardano?
Yeah,
Is
against
this,
Bitcoin.
Honestly, you would know a lot more than me about, this Cardano against Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Cardano hitting all-time highs right now?
Yep.
It is?
3
Okay, so
all-time
we're
highs.
into price discovery mode. Honestly, this is a very similar looking chart. When did we last do our live stream? Was it on... It was...
Last
when
Sunday?
it was breaking 1500... I think it was Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday.
This looks very similar to the Wednesday chart of when Ethereum broke its all-time high and went into price discovery mode. And I remember we were getting some questions in chat about what we thought of that price action. People thought it had run too hard and was going to pull back. But a lot of the time when we see momentum like this, it's hard. It's hard when it's in price discovery mode. Anything can happen. But with this much momentum, I think it keeps going.
Yeah,
do you agree?
With a lot of FOMO kicking in, especially around all-time highs, and like you said, yeah, price discovery mode. Honestly, I think it could keep running against Bitcoin. I'm not too sure. Against USDT, it's hard to say. We've already seen it like minor pullbacks bigger than what we've seen recently down here at this dip when it ran up and then it dropped down by about 50%, ran back up, and now it's dropped back down by roughly 50% again. We could see it run back up again just following that Fibonacci higher lows, but honestly, it's really hard to say. I think once we see a double top, if it comes back up and kind of forms another resistance at this all-time high here, I think we could see it falling down. Oh, sorry, let me put this into 4 hours.
I mean, look at that chart. That's just phenomenal.
Yeah, on the 4 hours, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But still, we're still seeing these pullbacks like along the way, and you know, if we go up and then we see another pullback down to 50%, and then come back and touch that top again. If it goes up, sky's the limit. If it comes back down a little bit and falls back below this kind of 50% level, we could see it fall all the
Ben
way
in
down.
chat says, what do you think the major resistance levels? I assume you're asking for Cardano.
Honestly, we're still yet to form any, I think.
Yeah, we're yet to form any. In price discovery mode, as soon as we go to an all-time high, it's really hard to it's guesswork, honestly.
I think we've got some pretty solid resistance level just above this kind of consolidation zone. Just above that, we've got these sort of touches just around this level at the 43-cent line. I'd probably put my stop limit's just above that. That's where I'd say a decently big resistance is. But other than that, you know, it's flying up, so it's really hard to tell where the resistance levels are. I'd say at this point, just look for double tops and look to make sure that it's still breaking through its value. If it's falling back and then trying to reach that point again, you could see it drop down by quite a bit. But
Ben, let us know what your holdings are, what your cryptos holding are looking like. We made a prediction on our last live stream on Wednesday that a lot of the Bitcoin maximalists over the next week are going to get left in the dust, and we saw it play out. We saw it play out with Ethereum, and we're seeing it now play out with Cardano. All the altcoins are running. Now, this sort of leads me into the next thing I wanted to talk about. We've seen since Bitcoin hit its 42K all-time high, we've seen it sort of consolidate and pull back over the last few weeks. I think it's been about a month now. And what I think we are going to see over the next week, this is my prediction, we're going to see, I think a lot of the altcoins have run really hard, including Ethereum. And I think we're going to see a move towards, I think it's now Bitcoin's time to run again. We're going to see a huge move in Bitcoin. And one of the big catalysts for that is going to be the Ethereum CME futures launching this week. I don't know if you know about this, Grant, but what signaled sort of the Bitcoin top back in 2017 was when they launched CME futures for that time.
Yep.
And because of all these derivatives of the future, tons of traders were like taking short positions. And it was literally like at the peak when it hit 19K.
Yeah.
And that was like the catalyst for the... that was the catalyst for the
like the
2017,
first
the bear.
Like
that was what started the bear, 3-year cycle. Those CME futures being launched. So a lot of people are scared. A lot of people are scared about the the futures launching? I think it launches tomorrow,
Can we pull up an article on it?
February 8th. Yeah, we've got a few articles.
6K Cardano bought at 0.06 a few years ago. Wow, insane. 2.5 ETH and 0.4 Bitcoin. Nice. Is that so? You only hold Cardano and Ethereum, Bitcoin. That's awesome. You must have had an awesome an awesome week or so.
Maybe I should start profit taking.
Yeah, I would just at these it's kind of risky because with these price discoveries you don't know where the top's going to be. Just wait, like I said, wait for those double tops and take some profit at there. But if you still see it running up really hard, then I'd say hold on just a little bit longer.
I'd just be watching it closely. There's some phenomenal buys you have. I like the look of your portfolio actually. So let's jump into a few of these articles. First one, we could make the bull run for this is my prediction for what happens to Ethereum and what happens to the larger altcoin market over the next week. So with Ethereum, with the CME futures launching this week, we can already see that the derivatives data suggests that traders are expecting prices above $2,000. It's showing that a lot of the short options, so a lot of the people that have gone short on Ethereum, they're going to expire worthless. So a lot of people are worried about the futures launching. I think as soon as it launches, it has some positive price action. I think we see it go a little bit further, and then I think we see the return to Bitcoin dominance and all the altcoins as well as Ethereum start to consolidate a bit and cool off. That's what my prediction is with this CME. A lot of people are worried about what's going to happen when this launches, but I think the bull run in general is too strong. We're not going to see it completely, we're not going to see the start of a bear cycle for Ethereum like it started for Bitcoin, but it'll be interesting to watch what happens this week with this launching.
Nice. That sounds all good.
James, what's your portfolio allocation, James? Let us know.
I heard you said Doge to the moon. I assume he's got a large portion of Doge.
Doge to the moon. You've been getting smashed.
Are you diamond handsing that all the way to the end?
Yeah, you diamond handsing that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What have we got here?
Okay. Yeah, let's make the
bull run. Do you want to talk
run.
about this one?
Yeah, I want to cover just a few of the... I'm very bullish on Ethereum long term. Just who knows what's going to happen in the next week. I just think CME futures is sort of throwing a spanner into the works. We made the prediction as soon as it hit 1,500. A lot of people were asking us if it hit 1,600. And I made the prediction. We both made the prediction that it was going to keep running. There was too much momentum behind it. We were seeing too much supply leave exchanges, and there were too many tailwinds, Ethereum 2.0 and CME futures launching to sort of, there was too much momentum behind it for us to see any sort of significant pullback. So let's just talk about them for a bit. First thing, coins leaving exchanges. So whales moved 451.3 million in Ethereum from top exchanges. Ethereum balance on platforms hit major low. This is huge because this is the exact opposite of what we were seeing around the peak of the 2017 Bitcoin run, and we were seeing this happen to Bitcoin at the end of last year. And we all know what happened at the end of last year when Bitcoin went price discovery mode. We're seeing tons of Bitcoin being moved off of exchanges into cold storage, and now we're seeing the exact same thing happen with Ethereum. So we've just gone price discovery mode in Ethereum, and we're seeing supply reach all-time lows. It's sort of the perfect storm. It's simple supply and demand. The less supply that's going to be available on exchanges, buyers are going to have to bid up the price to get the Ethereum that they want. So super bullish for Ethereum, especially long-term, like talking the next month or so.
James has said he's got diamond hands. ETH to 3K before major drop of 30 to 40%.
ETH to 3K before.
Why do you say ETH? Why do you say 3K as your level?
3K. It's in 3K. It's my. Yeah, I want to go over a few Ethereum targets that have been made by a few of the analysts in the space, but I think 3K is definitely inside sort of short-term targets. I think we're going to see a bit of a return to Bitcoin run while Ethereum consolidates a bit, but then 100% Ethereum 3K is inside. I'd agree with that.
I can see Bitcoin reaching about the 50K level and reaching some resistance there.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be anywhere near a double increase as Ethereum, like Ethereum is to 3K. So that'd be Ethereum taking a lot of value off Bitcoin during Bitcoin's run.
So you don't think that's likely?
I don't think that's likely in the short term.
Not in the short term?
Yep.
I think Ethereum's going to surprise us.
Yep. You reckon?
I'm more bullish on Ethereum. Yeah. Yeah, derivatives data, we covered this a bit, but the CME futures coming out this week, going to throw a spanner in the works. It's going to be an interesting one to watch. But it's showing that 99.5% of the neutral to bearish Ether put options will become worthless above 1360, leaving with bulls a significant advantage for the foreseeable future. So this is super interesting. What people are betting on in the future is they're expecting above $2,000. So I think 100% within the next 2 weeks, $2,000. I think we're going to see it. Consolidation maybe over the next few days, and then further run. It's lost a bit of momentum over the last 12 hours, but super interesting nonetheless. All right, let's jump to the last one I wanted to talk about, the Ethereum 2.0 phase rollout. I think I have a tweet up here from Glassnode. Yes, we reached a new all-time high. Obviously, it can't be taken back. We're going to constantly see new all-time highs, but this goes back to the supply and demand of Ethereum. We're seeing more and more percentage of Ethereum being held up in the 2.0 staking contract. So for the people that don't know about the Ethereum 2.0, when you opt in to become a node and stake your Ethereum, it's held for 18 months. So it's pretty much as good as putting it into cold storage. Again, supply and demand, the less supply that's on exchanges, the more that's held up in the 2.0 staking it's a perfect storm what's going on. 2.0 staking contract, I think 15% of the 15+% of the total Ethereum supply is now held up in that staking. That's for 18 months. And then we're seeing whales accumulate and pull it off exchanges into cold storage. So we're seeing all the supply getting sucked out. We're seeing like 16, 17-month lows of supply on exchanges while we're seeing all-time highs, it's just mental, because normally they're correlated with each other. As the price goes up on Ethereum, people are transferring their ETH to the exchanges so they can sell it at a good price. And we're seeing the exact opposite. As the price is going higher and higher, we're seeing all this supply being sucked out. So yeah, that's why I'm super bullish on Ethereum in the near term. I think we see a 2K over the next 2 weeks. But maybe with a bit of a return to, I think it's Bitcoin's time to run in sort of the next few days. But yeah, super bullish on Ethereum.
We've got James. His portfolio is 20% ETH, 5% Doge, 75% Bitcoin. I hope that was Doge before you had the Ethereum and Bitcoin, right? What's everyone think of Raul's 20K cycle prediction? Pretty optimistic if you ask me. Yeah, 20K is definitely a big, that's definitely a massive statement. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these people in the space are definitely giving some big predictions, and I think they're all backed by all these analysis, like Metcalfe's law. We've got stock to flow model. These things you can't deny
discount
these things.
them. Yeah, you can't discount them, and you can't play it out. Optimistic, 100%, out of the question? I don't think so. For the people that don't know who Raoul Pal is, he's a former executive for JP Morgan. He's a huge macro investor, and he used to work for JP Morgan Europe. And in the past, I think he's been a Bitcoin maximalist, but he's also a supporter of Ethereum. I think his personal portfolio allocation is like 20% Ethereum. So yeah, he's still majorly bullish on, I think he has like a saying, he's irresponsibly long on Bitcoin. But he has a 20K Ethereum price target, and he has a hunch that Ethereum goes to 20K. And pretty much the entire thesis behind his is Metcalfe's law, which is sort of how you value a social network. And by that meaning, as there's more users, as there's more wallets, innately the network that is built on becomes more valuable. So an example of things that were used, that were valued using Metcalfe's law was things like Facebook and social networks in the early days when people didn't know how to give a valuation monetarily. They'd use Metcalfe's law to give a value based on the number of users, and it was a fairly accurate way of basing that. So he sort of put the chart between the Bitcoin adoption and the Ethereum adoption based on wallets and based on usage. And he's pretty much made the assumption that the Ethereum is one cycle behind Bitcoin, and we can expect potentially a 20K Ethereum, because that's what happened to Bitcoin on the last cycle. So optimistic, I think so. Looking back at that cycle, I don't think Bitcoin had any business going to 20K, and that's why it dropped back so far into the bear market. A more reasonable price would be maybe 5 to 6K, which I think is a bit more of a reasonable price target.
Yeah, when it ran up back in 20, that was just pure speculation. Though we saw nothing of these institutions, we saw nothing from these retails, and we really want to see some adoption in the future as well. So you never know when that correction will come. Though, got to be ready to take ETH profits all the way out. Yep, that's why you put your stop limits all the way up. You just keep raising them as the Ethereum raises, and while it's in price discovery, just hold on to it, see where it goes, see if it tops out, and then maybe take some profits along the way. That's something that's the best thing you could do while Ethereum is running up like that.
Yeah, 100%. You're never going to go broke taking profits. Never feel bad about taking profits. A lot of people get FOMO when they take profits, but yeah, the best way to do is take a little bit out every now and then, and don't feel bad about it. You're making money. Isn't straight to 20K unlikely without 30 to 40% drops? 100%. So yeah, if we get to 20K this cycle, we'll 100% be seeing huge corrections.
We saw like 15, 20 to 30% drops on our way up to 20K the first time. It will be
on Bitcoin, yeah.
It is almost impossible not to see these huge market corrections all the way up to 20K. I think that's a fairly
fairly reasonable assumption to expect 20 to 30% drops. But yeah, 20K, I don't know if we see it. I think a more reasonable estimate would be 20K.
Quite honestly, I think I can see this Cardano against Ethereum value, Cardano taking value back off Ethereum going on for a long time. I can see this happening for a while. I think with more people, with the value running up, I think people are going to be looking at Cardano a bit more than Ethereum for the short term. And, you know, with it being obviously a better system, the only thing Ethereum has on Cardano is that it's been around the space for longer and it's that it's a bigger name. But other than that, yeah, I think Cardano is just going to take a lot of names back from Ethereum for the short term.
Just touching on Ethereum just one more time while we're talking about price predictions. Do you reckon the audio will be too bad?
I'll have a listen.
You'll have a listen?
Yeah.
Two of the people in the space that are probably most accurate, I don't know if you guys follow them a bit, but we have Benjamin Cohen with his Ethereum price prediction. He does a lot of like logarithmic and regression analysis. It's pretty interesting watching them. I don't know if I'll play the clip, but he's predicting a $3,600 Ethereum in the short term. And this is just based on previous price action and previous drops. Just go? I'll give the clip a try. We're going to test the audio. I'm going to see what it's like.
Blow off peak for, let's say 4 weeks. And by the time that gets here, the 20-week moving average could be $280 higher than it currently is. Well, currently it's at $737. So if it were to go up another $300, we'd be looking at $1,037. Let's just round it off to $1,000 or so. So if the log of the price divided by the future 20-week moving average, which might be at $1,000, is equal to that level of 1.14, where would it put us? It would put Ethereum at a valuation of $31.26. Okay, does this make sense? Well, where would that put us on the Ether Bitcoin valuation? We've looked extensively at the symmetry here, at what, you know, at basically building this out. We had, and let's look at the weekly time frame. So you can see over here, we had this bottom and then a double bottom. If you're into traditional TA, we had this bottom here and this bottom as well. This was we had a top in this region and then a top right here at the same level. Okay, this is where we dumped below. This is where we came back up to. There's a lot of structure so far, but what happens when we get past this point for the Ethereum Bitcoin valuation? Well, on this chart, it's more like the, you know, clear skies, it would seem. It seems to be more akin to clear skies. And that could theoretically take us up to a valuation of 0.085. Now, this is not financial advice, and I don't know if we're going to make it to 0.085 in the short term or not. But if we did, what would that correspond to? Well, what we need to do is we need to go to 0.085 times the valuation of Bitcoin. But we don't know what the valuation of Bitcoin is going to be in 4 weeks. But let's just say that it's 38,100, because that's basically what the price is right now. That would also correspond to just over a $3,000 Ethereum. So if Ethereum were to make it to this level and the price of Bitcoin remained invariant, and we saw Ether against Bitcoin do something like this, come up to this point before having a significant correction, then it would correspond to just over a $3,000 Ethereum.
Alrighty, guys, so that I hope that audio was all right. We're getting, audio's great, sounds fine in chat, good. So yeah, he's basing that prediction off the previous, that was the Ethereum against the Bitcoin, price. So he's basing that on previous levels, and like moving it against the moving average. So he's predicting $3,200 in the short term, which I think is a much more reasonable estimate, rather than these Raoul Pal moonshots. Yeah, do you have anything?
No, I like that analysis.
Yeah. He's a good
That
guy.
also-
I'd recommend checking him out.
Yeah, that also does depend how long this Ethereum run lasts, because I don't know, that graph is the Bitcoin against Ethereum. So if Bitcoin does decide to start running up, and we see more resistance falling with Ethereum, it could fail. But if Ethereum does keep raising, and yeah, I think it is very, very feasible that could happen. It all really depends on the movement of Bitcoin over the next few weeks and see how that runs compared to Ethereum. But yeah, no, I definitely can't discount that opinion. I think that could definitely happen.
It's going to be very interesting to see with the CME futures what's going to happen. A lot of people are thinking it's positive, and it looks positive based off the derivatives data. Where is it? Here, it's suggesting above a $2,000 when it launches, and a lot of these short options are going to expire worthless. So short term, it's looking bullish. I think a lot of people are forgetting that when CME futures launched for Bitcoin, it was what started the beginning of the 3-year bear cycle. So it launched at the end of December 2017, which was the peak of Bitcoin, and sort of spelt the end of the entire crypto bull run. So let's not forget what happened with Bitcoin when they launched. It's looking positive so far, and I do think we have enough momentum, and we're not going to see anything catastrophic, but it's just a spanner in the works, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Cool. Do we want to move on? I haven't seen this yet. Do we want to watch the Elon clip?
Yep, I like it.
All right, cool. So we have an Elon clip. TMZ caught Elon
In the wild.
in the wild. After this sort of tweet storm about cryptocurrencies and Dogecoin and Bitcoin.
I'm honestly starting to think he has more faith in Dogecoin than the whole crypto space. He keeps saying it as a meme, but he's also saying things like the most unexpected outcome is the most plausible outcome, and which makes me think that he's seriously started to swing in that
Believe
direction.
in Dogecoin, which is insane. So yeah, based on what we've seen him be tweeting out, everyone assumes that it's a joke, but supposedly from this interview, I haven't watched it yet. We'll get my live reaction on stream. He maybe does believe in Dogecoin. So let's take a look at this. And those paparazzis, oh man, what did they even say? the power of Elon Musk. That's interesting. He seemed to be pretty serious on the future of, I don't know, he had a pretty balanced response. Yeah, he does seem a little too serious about Dogecoin and it actually becoming a real currency.
I do like how he said that crypto will be the future currency of the world.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of recent evidence that will set us on that course.
Yeah.
Like if we look at, I know the PayPal one was a bit controversial, but there's a PayPal one, there's the Square one, there's the Visa one. After Visa, we'll probably see Amex. I know MasterCard was in the works as well. But yeah, I think Amex is the next big name to look at. And also with Miami, with
the Michael Saylor thing?
No, Miami, the mayor.
Oh, the mayor, they're putting... Yeah, what, do you explain a bit more about that? They're putting some of the states fund into it or something?
I'm really surprised because the Miami the president of Miami, I can't remember his name. He said he wants to put the crypto on like the city's treasury, on Miami's treasury, which is weird because he only says crypto. He doesn't specify if he doesn't specify Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything. I think he wants to put a range of them on. Another really interesting thing he says is that he actually doesn't own any crypto himself, but he is so bullish on crypto. He wants to make Miami the next crypto capital, the next tech capital of the world, focusing around crypto and Bitcoin. And he wants people to be able to pay their taxes in crypto. He wants people to be able to be paid in crypto, and he wants it to be like a second native currency alongside the US dollar. So if that happens, I think crypto will be just as feasible to be held as the US dollar, which we've
100%.
never seen in any crypto. We've never seen that kind of adoption with real life, real world normal people taking in kind of like almost like two languages in the city. Like when people speak, when there's two languages that float around in a city, we'll see like two currencies floating around in a city, which is,
interesting.
That's the next level of adoption. And he's
definitely.
A key thing for him to look at is for when he does buy it, he's going to make a big public statement about it. He's actually stated online that he's going to make a date around it and probably buy it through like the Winklevoss twins or on Gemini or something.
Okay, Gemini.
So I think that's awesome. He actually doesn't own any. He's going to be doing it with the people of Miami, which means that all these people who are watching him and doing it with him won't have that sense of it's too late. They'll have a sense of we're adopting.
It's just starting.
The
and adoption's just starting.
Exactly. Yeah, we're adopting a new currency in the city, and this is. This is why it's better than the US dollar. Yeah. And so let's all follow that lead rather than let's just take these profits. So
true, bro. That's super bullish for.
That's very bullish, yeah.
For cryptocurrency in general. That's interesting that he doesn't specify which crypto that they're going to add to the state's balance sheet.
He does mention Bitcoin a lot, but
he does mention Bitcoin a lot.
I think he knows that Bitcoin can't be used for payment system.
Yeah.
It's just
transaction costs
fees,
and
Ethereum's
fees.
gas price. Ethereum's gas prices or.
Yeah.
That's why I'm also looking at Zilliqa. I think Zilliqa could be, but you never know.
True, we should jump into a few of the altcoins. But yeah, in terms of the transaction fees on Bitcoin, and I think the gas fees for Ethereum, they hit all-time highs when it hit $1,700
almost
about 24 hours ago.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, that's soon. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Just so much usage on the networks, and I think people were trying to send a few dollars, and it was costing them like $60 to send it, which is just crazy.
Absolutely insane.
So yeah, I can see why those wouldn't add. Yeah, those Bitcoin and Ethereum, like maybe it'd be looking to
they're
add.
Not a solution to the problem.
Yeah, they're not a solution to the problem.
Can definitely solve.
Yeah, how are you gonna be paying taxes?
Yeah. Ethereum 2.0 has a lot of scalability introductions that it's going to bring into it, because I know that's something they've been working on, but.
Yeah, isn't that a solution? I'm pretty sure the Ethereum 2.0 is a solution to a lot of the.
It is there. They are going to bring scalability, but again, scalability is not something that we haven't seen with a lot of other altcoins.
Exactly, we've already seen them already. So,
doing it a lot better, like with the sharding from Zilliqa and is this the Ethereum?
This is Ethereum against the US dollar.
Change it to Binance just to make it. Sweet. Let's quickly look at this, I reckon. Change it. Yep. So it's on the 1 day. Look at that, forming high lows, constantly increasing. It's hard to say whether we're gonna cap out, come down, sort of form that Fibonacci retracement, and then run back up again, form another all-time high, or if we're gonna see another top, make it level out, form some sort of resistance here, and then fall back down. I think for the reasons as you said prior, I think we will keep running up.
Yeah, I think it's too bullish in the near term. All these things, despite the CME futures, who knows which way it's going to go. But yeah, the amount of Ethereum leaving exchanges, Ethereum 2.0 staking, simple supply and demand, there's not enough supply. So I think it's too bullish in the near term. So yeah, Benjamin Crowan, based off the ratio of Bitcoin to Ethereum to Bitcoin, is expecting $3,200. And I think, we're going to move.
And I think he has by far been the most accurate in the space for that specific spread. It sounds weird, but he has gone into so much detail on the Bitcoin to Ethereum spread and just seeing which one will be the winner and which one will be the loser at which specific times. And he's called it almost every time.
Yeah, he's been incredibly accurate. So
yeah, I trust him on those sort of predictions.
Yeah, 100%.
That spread.
Sort of got off topic from the Elon Musk on Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, but let's go back over sort of the different things that he did. So for a few years, he's been tweeting out random Dogecoin memes and I don't know, statuses about Dogecoin. I remember, I think it was December last year, just after Christmas, he tweeted out Bitcoin, some meme about Bitcoin distracting him from life or something, followed by a flurry of Dogecoin tweets. And then we saw him change his bio to Bitcoin and then immediately remove it and then again start tweeting out a flurry of Dogecoin. And I saw an interesting take from the analyst Max Kaiser, who has been probably the most accurate in terms of his price predictions of Bitcoin. He predicted a 28K at the end of 2020, which he was pretty much spot on for. And he was saying the reason he pulled it off his bio and started pumping Dogecoin was because A, it didn't have as big a reaction as you would think it was. And I think everyone's sort of reaction was that that when he added it to his bio that there was going to be a bit more price action with Bitcoin. He was incorporating it and sort of pushing it, becoming an advocate for it. And the price, I think it went up 8% and then pulled back. So it wasn't huge. It's not like the Dogecoin massive moves that we see when he tweets out. And then he secondly sees it as a threat to the Tesla share price, which I don't know, this is a bit tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. But supposedly what his argument he was trying to make was that the Bitcoin and the Tesla investors and the Bitcoin investors, because it's both very highly volatile and speculative assets, they're competition with one another, and it's in Elon's best interest to have the Tesla share price as high as it can go, because he'd get incredibly rich off it, and he can use it to fund his other projects like SpaceX. So it's in his best interest to not be pumping and not being an advocate of Bitcoin, because it's a direct competitor to his main and biggest asset. So that's why I went back to pumping Dogecoin and sort of making a joke about it.
If anything, that gives him the most. He gets the most benefit out of putting Bitcoin onto Tesla's balance sheet, which I hope will happen.
Yeah, that would be huge.
I don't think that's out of the question at all.
I don't think it's out of the question either. We know that
he won't. I don't think he'll publicly state it until Tesla maybe releases their financial statements. I don't think he's allowed to even put something like that out yet. With the SEC, we'll probably chase after him if he's making all these huge.
Yeah, while he's pumping it on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't think he's allowed to post anything like that.
Yeah,
I'm sure the SEC's already on his case about the Doge. All this Doge stuff I don't even know if he's allowed to be doing that.
Yeah, pumping.
He has said that he hates the SEC and doesn't. Oh, he doesn't hate.
He's made a joke about them. Yeah,
doesn't respect them at all.
Yeah,
and So I don't know. It's really interesting. I think he'll be a huge influence in the coming year with Tesla and Bitcoin running up and all the stuff he's doing with Doge. I think he'll be one of the biggest influences for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think if he added it to if Tesla added it to their balance sheet, even like 5%, that would be astronomical for.
Insane. That would be even 5% is still.
Yeah, one of the biggest US companies joining Square and MicroStrategy of adding it to their things. I think that would be huge and move the ticker on Bitcoin massively, and it just goes so much in terms of proving the adoption of Bitcoin and give it so much validity. B says, I think Elon is just enjoying giving his thoughts on a meme after all he did tweet Bitcoin. Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah, you can't think too much into Elon Musk tweeting about Dogecoin.
100%. So. And he's so incredibly rich. Like, this conspiracy theory that he doesn't want to competing with the Tesla share price, like, I think it's a bit too far-fetched. Like, he doesn't need to be doing it. I don't think he really cares. And I think, he's just enjoying the memes. In regards to it, I think he is a believer in crypto. He's very forward thinking. But yeah, I think
let's look at some altcoins. B, what's your portfolio looking like at the moment?
Yeah, everyone in chat, let us know.
Leaf, what's your portfolio looking like at the moment? If you're still here.
Yeah, let us know your if you're watching, let us know your crypto allocations, what your portfolios are looking like. And give us any questions. Let us know your price predictions, and we'll go from there. Let's talk through our crypto allocations.
Yeah, let's go through our allocations.
I'm hugely into. I've been slowly moving my Bitcoin into Ethereum. I think Ethereum has a bit more short-term promise than Bitcoin, as stated before. The 2.0 staking, CME futures, and just the supply we're seeing leave exchanges. So moving that Bitcoin slowly into Ethereum. But right now it's about 70% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum. I still think the end game is to accumulate as much Bitcoin as you can, but there's better ways to do it. Altcoins are going to run harder than Bitcoin. Altcoins in certain stages are going to increase at a higher percentage than Bitcoin. So I think it is in your interest to be holding a variety of different promising altcoins.
Definitely. A lot of the reason why you hold some of these altcoins is just to accumulate Bitcoin anyway. Just when it gets some value back off Bitcoin, then you can swap it straight back and get a few more sats. I'm just gonna get up the market cap on this screen. Crypto market cap. I'm the same with Jamie. I've got more Ethereum on hand than Bitcoin, just because I think that it's also gonna run up against Ethereum. Against Bitcoin for the short term and potentially even in the long term. I think Ethereum is an amazing investment right now. I'm also very bullish on Polkadot. I took a lot of profits on a little bit on the run up and put it into different projects like Kusama and Zilliqa. I picked up quite a bit of Zilliqa, and I'm still I still have a lot of hope for that project.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions about any of the altcoins, Grant got onto a lot of the altcoins really early, and he's a lot more knowledgeable than myself. I'm really into Ethereum and Bitcoin. I follow the news really closely on a lot of them, as well as the price action. But a lot of the altcoins, Grant's your go-to person. He got on. I remember you were telling us to buy Polkadot at like $4. You were telling us to buy Chainlink earlier. You were telling us to buy Dogecoin before it ran. So Grant does have a good eye for altcoins, and he's quite knowledgeable about them. Kusama and Zilliqa are big ones that he's in.
A recent one I've been looking at is AAVE as well. It's another collateral-based alt. I want to know if there's anyone in chat who's looking at that one at the moment.
AAVE.
AAVE. That one's supposed to run hard this year. There's a lot of analysts saying that one's a good pickup as well, especially Michael Van de Poppe as well.
B, I'm only invested in Ethereum. I'm a tech guy, so I only invest in tech I can believe in. Ethereum platform seems the way forward given the problems it looks to solve. Hope it's forever, not seen as an off-brand cola / Bitcoin. Yeah, 100%.
I don't think it will ever seen as an off-brand. Or to the general public who know the most base level information, just like their names, then it will be an off-brand cola. I don't think that'll ever be known as an off-brand cola.
An off-brand Bitcoin.
Just because they serve such different purposes, but I know where you're coming from when you say that.
Yeah, and I feel like in the past it has been seen as an off-brand Bitcoin, as sort of a second-rate Bitcoin. I don't know if you were the one that asked a question about Raoul Pal previously, but he sees them as entirely different, as Bitcoin as the reserve asset, as a holder value, and then Ethereum as the platform. And there's so much intellectual capital and so much work being done on the Ethereum, like on Ethereum-based projects, that you just need one of them to work out. You just need one of them to explode. And the good thing about Ethereum, we're seeing huge adoption. We're seeing tons more wallets. You can't underestimate the value of the network, which is what I think a lot of people miss the point on a lot of these altcoins. They might be better, they might have cheaper fees, they might have better features, they might be further ahead in some aspects than Ethereum, but a lot of the altcoin holders who are just sort of narrow-mindedly looking at that are underestimating the monetary value of a network and the adoption and how far ahead Ethereum is than all these other altcoins, which aren't as far along as Ethereum and might not get to the level of adoption that it already is at. So yeah, I think you'll do well holding just Ethereum.
Definitely.
And it's, there's no problem with holding just what you know. I think that's a good investment strategy. Yeah. And it's not to say, like with Ethereum 2.0, Vitalik, the guy that made it and who was working on updates and putting out things to fix the problems that it's facing, high gas fees, the network being clogged. Like, the dude's a genius. So
he can definitely get it fixed. And Ethereum's one of the biggest names. If they're still moving forward in the right direction, I don't think it'll ever be. I don't think there'll ever be a case where won't be working on its network to be, top of the line. I don't think it'll ever be falling behind in that regard, because they're still doing, Ethereum 2.0 is still going to be one of the best projects out there. So when it does come out, so I don't think it will lose that much value compared to a lot of these altcoins. But,
yeah, 100% agreed.
It's the most important thing is that it's got the name behind it. So
yeah, it's got the name behind it and it's got the adoptability. So yeah, two huge components. XLM. Grant's just pulling up a chart for XLM. Thanks for the question, Steely, what's your portfolio looking like? Let us know. Let's take a look at Binance. It was interesting to see Bitcoin break 40K. I thought that was very bullish, and this is why I think we see a bit of return to the Bitcoin dominance over the next few days. Especially if we break all-time highs, I think we're going to see maybe a bit of a pullback from Ethereum and all the altcoins, let them cool off for a bit, because we've been seeing the Bitcoin dominance, I think, creep back towards that 70% level. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that, especially if we break all-time highs, start going price discovery mode again, which it looks like it's going to happen over the next few days.
Yeah, as we reach that double top, we'll definitely be watching very closely at this point here to see if we do manage to break through that 42K mark.
I mean, how bearish if it doesn't.
Very bearish, but you can't discount each side of the coin.
Yeah.
I also think we do move past. I think we will keep moving.
Yeah.
I think it'll be very surprising if we don't.
Yeah, if we form a double top here,
and then we just fall back,
start dropping back down. But having said that, it might be beneficial to Ethereum and a lot of the altcoins if we form a channel here and just start consolidating.
Exactly. Yeah. So flow some reserve back into Ethereum, and yeah, all the rest. Because I don't think Ethereum's even taken back it's what it was in the last bull run. Because I believe it was something like.
Oh, it got to
7% or 8% value of Bitcoin.
I think it got to 15% at one point.
Something insane like that.
Yeah, something insane.
I think that's where it should be. I think it should be at a certain percentage, and it should be based off historically what it was in the past, at least.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think that's what a lot of these Ethereum price predictions are based off, is just the old ratio of what Ethereum was at for Bitcoin. Because if anyone knows what it got to, let us know. But I'm pretty sure it was 15%, because Bitcoin got to 19K US and I think Ethereum got to 1200. Does that sound right? I think it was sort of around there. So
there's something around there, yeah.
Yeah, if we get back to anything like that, we can expect huge increases into the Ethereum price. Like, we're literally just getting begun with the bull run. So yeah. Do we want to look at Kusama?
Yep, let's look at some Kusama.
Oh man, what's going on with Dogecoin, man? Again.
Yeah, did you see on Twitter?
What happened?
I've got it up on this PC, so you guys won't be able to see for a sec. But
Oh.
He posted. I don't know if you guys saw, but he posted a tweet of him holding up Simba, which was actually Doge, but then he's reposted. I actually don't understand what this even is.
Alright, here we go. Elon pumping up Doge again. Is that Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, that's Snoop Dogg.
Who is that?
If someone can explain this one to us.
So we're witnessing another Elon Doge pump.
And I'm not sure when this will stop.
Oh man. I'm sure there's a lot of traders just sitting on Elon's Twitter refreshing constantly and just waiting to pile into Doge.
Honestly,
I think it's not a bad trading strategy.
We should look at the graphs and see if his unrelated posts lately have been pumping Doge as well as his Doge-related posts. Just see if everything's influencing the market now.
Yeah, we should put a chart up and then put
the dates side by side.
Yeah, have the dates of the tweets side by side to see the
the price action.
See the price action immediately following the Elon tweets.
Yeah.
Here's another one. One Dogecoin is currently worth more than an actual nickel. Think about that for a minute.
That's
Elon
cool.
Musk. I mean, that is pretty cool. And Grant made a good point a few weeks ago, actually, before Dogecoin ran hard. You should always have 1%, as dumb as it sounds. You should always have between 1 to 3% of your portfolio in Dogecoin, just in case.
Or not even, because you see every single time these publicity stunts happen, you see Doge. You know, if you've got like 0.5% of Doge in your kind of holdings, you're not too worried, because you know that Ethereum and Bitcoin will eventually take the value off it. But it's just that one time, once in a while, where Doge gets some sort of massive publicity stunts where it can take over like
500%,
20% of your portfolio.
Yeah.
So, and that's actually what happened to me when I was holding Doge. I kind of owned it just on the off chance that might happen. I know it sounds risky, but historically you can almost, you know, have an educated gamble that will happen. So
yeah, I don't think it's too risky putting 1 to 3% of your portfolio in Doge just as a
hedge against
complete
Elon.
Yeah, hedge against Elon and just a complete moonshot. So yeah, interesting position. Other interesting thing, I think it's already happened or has happened in the last 48 hours, the Michael Saylor, the conference to investors. So that was, I think it was 1,400 different companies that he did a Bitcoin seminar on, just giving them the playbook on how he bought Bitcoin through MicroStrategy, why he bought it, the benefits of it, how to do it, like from a legal and like financial standpoint, like how to do it, like tax-wise. What do you think ETH will be in 1 to 2 months? Interesting.
Definitely very bullish on the scenario that'll be definitely higher than what it is now. I think we will still keep running up, and we won't see a massive retraction like we've seen recently. For an exact number?
Yeah, let's give an exact number to look back on.
I'd say let's give an exact number, yeah.
Ethereum, 1 to 2 months. I'm going to go fairly conservative. 2,600
Yeah,
US.
I was gonna say 2,500.
2,500, 2,500, 2,600. We're not going to give you a moonshot. I mean, that's a huge increase. But I think there's too many tailwinds, too many beneficial news events over the next 1 to 2 months. That's going to keep pushing Ethereum. We went over them a bit before. Yeah, 2,600. I think that's a pretty safe guess.
It's still got so much gas left in the tank to keep expunging out. So
yeah, so much gas in the tank. Let's go over the three, at least my three biggest proponents as why the Ethereum price is going to keep running. We're seeing whales move huge amounts of Ethereums off exchanges, and these whales, they could be corporations, they could just be high net worth individuals. They could be companies, they're moving it into cold storage. This is supply that is going to be removed from the exchanges for the long term. This is very bullish for Ethereum. Second reason is the CME futures. I think it's going to be beneficial. The derivatives data is showing above $2,000. This is short term. So a bit longer. I think 2,600 is fairly reasonable. And then the 2.0 staking contract. There's so much. I think 15% of the Ethereum is held up in the 2.0 staking contract. It's held for 18 months. And yeah, Glassnode put out that it just reached an all-time high again. So yeah, there's a supply crisis going on with Ethereum. So super bullish. Yeah, 2,600. Dollar cost average is my plan until it matures with ETH 2.0. Yeah, good plan. I think, slowly increasing your stack of Ethereum
don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah,
just
don't overcomplicate
buy
it.
slowly. Know what's in the works and just trust the process, because in December 27th, Bitcoin plummeted after the lead up for the futures market pump. Tomorrow's the day of Ethereum. Yep. So Jamie's already talked about this one. We spoke about this earlier in the live stream a couple times. Did you want to go over it again? Harry H just asked about the futures market pump back in 2017.
Yeah, Harry, good point. So a lot of people are really bullish on the CME futures opening tomorrow, but it's the US, so it's going to be like over the next 48 hours, we're going to see what happens to it. And I was saying earlier, I think we see a return to Bitcoin. I think Ethereum's going to pull back a bit and consolidate sort of the near term. But I don't think we're going to see what happened in 2017 when the futures opened for Bitcoin. When the futures opened back in December 2017 for Bitcoin, everyone was short. Everyone was expecting the price to go down. We are seeing a complete different situation now. So we're seeing the data. People are expecting $2,000. All of the short positions, it looks like, currently are going to expire worthless. And I think there's too much momentum behind just crypto in general, and specifically Ethereum in terms of supply, Ethereum 2.0, for the futures to sort of take a big chunk out. Like, I don't think we're going to see the start of a 3-year bear market like what happened with Ethereum. So
I don't think it's even possible.
I think there's way too much momentum.
Way too much institutional money in it.
Yeah.
I think there's way too much backbone this time around to even compare it to that.
Yeah, but buy the rumor, sell the news. I think a lot of people, I don't know, I'm seeing mixed things online. I'm seeing a lot of people expect the CME futures to be a positive thing when you're exactly right. Back in 2017, it was a very negative catalyst for Bitcoin. So it's interesting. We'll see what happens. But I think, yeah, too much backbone, too much momentum behind it. We're going to see it keep increasing.
This time around, yeah, we're just seeing so much adoption around Miami, around Visa, around.
Yeah, we haven't
all
talked
these
about
big
this
payment
Visa
systems.
yet. Did you want to talk a bit about that? I'm not too versed in it.
So Visa's allowing people to buy and sell crypto through their account. Let's see where it is. Let me see if I can find it in their words.
So we're finding more adoption. We saw Square do it, we saw PayPal do it, and Visa, another US.
Is to work with wallets and exchanges, and that's super important, because the way PayPal introduced it, when they released it, it was very controversial, because I believe that you could deposit your Bitcoin, but you couldn't withdraw it and you couldn't move it around anywhere, which made zero sense, because Bitcoin is known to be very bad with their security and people losing money randomly. And since they're not a bank, they're not liable for your money. And why would anyone give their Bitcoin or transfer the Bitcoin through PayPal? But these guys are starting to work with wallets and exchanges, so which is awesome to see. And you'll be able to use that through your Visa card, I believe. And that's gonna make crypto really, really, it's gonna put a lot of backbone behind it in terms of fundamentals and giving it adoption.
Yeah, huge in terms of adoptability. Like, we saw Square do it, we saw PayPal do it, but this is the next step. So, and
like it says here, we've seen Crypto.com, BlockFi, Fond, and I don't know if you're Fold, and I don't know if you're familiar with like people like Crypto.com you can actually get a card from them. You can use your balance, and it'll take that conversion, and you can buy anything, because they give you rebates on it and stuff. But doing it through Visa is a completely different story. So it's still the same motive, but doing it just through Visa is completely different.
We have how much of your portfolio is in Ethereum? I've been in the past very heavily into Bitcoin. I'm about 70% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum right now. But I'm looking to move more into Ethereum over the next few weeks. I think it has a bit more momentum and price catalyst over sort of the next 1 to 4 months. Having said that, though, CME futures, let's see what happens before we do any major moves, because let's just see what happens.
Definitely.
Yeah. What about your portfolio?
I'm definitely looking more at Ether than Bitcoin at the moment. I do think that Bitcoin will take back value. I think it's inevitable that Bitcoin does take back value off all these alts, as all these alts have been doing some insane stuff in the market with their market cap positions and whatnot. I think it's inevitable Bitcoin does run up, but I will be looking evenly at Bitcoin and Ethereum, if not more Ethereum for the short to midterm. So,
yeah, a big determinant of how to have your portfolio allocation, I feel like, is going to play out over the sort of next 3 days to 2 weeks.
The traditional sense in your portfolio is usually 50-60% Bitcoin, 20-30% Ethereum, just to get some money in those new projects coming in, just as they pop off with their speculations and what their use cases are and who they're being used by, with all the ERC20 tokens, and then maybe just that small amount, 10% in something just for publicity like Doge, or something that rivals with Ethereum a bit like Polkadot or Cardano, and just in case they take some value back off Ethereum. So that's the traditional sense in how your portfolio should be set up. And I don't know, I think that's kind of swayed a bit. I think have a bit more money in Ethereum, a bit more money in alts and Bitcoin than the traditional sense. So
Harry H, who are you guys? I found this link on Reddit. Yeah, I put it in a few of the live chats just for people to come hang out and watch cryptos. We both, we're Australian based. We both make cryptocurrency and stock market videos. We both have a stock market background. We've been trading equities for about 5 years, and we were minimally in cryptocurrency back in 2017, and we've gotten much more into it towards the second half of 2020 and this year, and just been making some videos about it. We also run a small business, and the reason we got into cryptocurrency so hard is when we saw Square and PayPal convert their balance sheet into Bitcoin and Ethereum into Bitcoin. We started mining Bitcoin, and then we also converted our balance sheet into Bitcoin, and we've been following the news and price action very closely ever since. So yeah, been following the news, put out price predictions, make videos, and do some live streams every now and then.
We have very, very heavily moved towards the crypto scene though. Like, we're trying to move our business into receiving and sending funds through cryptos. We're trying to move our business, maybe setting a goal for ourselves to be more crypto based in our business, and maybe set a bit of an example for small businesses that it is possible to do it.
Yeah. I mean, the moving our personal small business balance sheet into Bitcoin and starting to mine cryptocurrencies was, our business was doing good, but it started to thrive after we did that. We started accepting payments in cryptocurrencies, in Bitcoin, and as you can imagine, holding it in the second half of last year, we've seen insane increases. I mean, we both have finance backgrounds. We've both got undergrads majoring in finance, and you just look at sort of what happened to commodity prices and the estimates they have about inflation, and we had all this cash on hand, and we wanted to put it into something. If you're going to be losing 15% to inflation per year, which is what some of the estimates are, you want to be putting your money to work in some sort of asset. We looked at putting it in stocks, but just in terms of like tax purposes, brokerage fees, and just legally in terms of doing that is extremely difficult. So we started putting it into cryptocurrencies. So yeah.
Right. Is there anything else? Any other questions you guys got?
Yeah. Let us know your portfolio allocations.
Happy to run through any altcoins or any portfolio allocations, or any views you might get. If you guys agree or disagree with anything we've said, I'd be more than willing to hear you guys out.
I reckon talk a bit about Cardano, because we haven't talked about it since the beginning of the stream. You know a bit more than I do. From what I know, it's a
the Ethereum killer, pretty much.
Yeah, everyone calls it the Ethereum killer. It does everything that Ethereum does, but a bit better. The only thing I would say to keep in mind is that it doesn't have the same network effect that Ethereum does.
Definitely. So that's the biggest argument against it.
But yeah, what are the arguments for it? I'm not hugely versed in Cardano.
Cardano is another smart contract platform, but I think it's just introduced all its functionalities quite a bit sooner than Ethereum. Ethereum was wasted quite a bit of time with a lot of stuff it's been doing for Ethereum 2.0, and it has been. Talk about Golem, please. I was recently pumped. Have you heard of Golem before?
I've not heard of Golem.
I've not heard of Golem. I'll have a look at. We'll have a look at it in a second and see, and we'll give our initial thoughts on it. But yeah, I think with this recent run up with Cardano, I think I mean, I really hope, because I'm going to definitely hold a little bit more Cardano in my portfolio from now, just to hedge against Ethereum a little bit. I think we'll see a lot more projects come out through.
That's the only golem I know, but we'll take a look at it.
I think we'll see a lot more projects come out through Cardano. Yeah, they got a lot more, a lot of scholarly articles on it. I think there's a lot of people looking at it now. I can't really say much else. I think we just got to watch it for the.
Oh, we're not in price discovery. So we actually saw it. So this is one of the ones that ran and definitely got too overheated in 2017. Looks like it got to $1.30.
Wow. Okay. I thought we did reach.
We're actually still half price down there. So explain to me this: is there faster transactions? Is it cheaper transactions? Is it better to build things on the Cardano network? Like, what are the main positives?
So they have been working with their scalability as well, much like Ethereum. I don't think that they're definitely not the best in scalability and interoperability, but for the time being, they're definitely better than Ethereum. I think when Ethereum 2.0 rolls out, they'll still be behind the curve, just because Cardano's been out in that department for a long time. So essentially, they're just
when
one
you say
step.
Scalability, do you mean cheaper fees, faster transactions?
Yep. Cheaper fees, faster transactions. They can hold more people on the network.
Yeah, and that's the trouble with what we see with Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's great when there's not huge adoption, but when we do see huge adoption in these huge networks, they come with the trade-off that the gas fees go incredibly high, and the Bitcoin transaction costs get incredibly high as well. So it's hard to... Bitcoin, I see a lot of people making the argument it's now the digital gold, it's the digital asset, it's like a value holder. It's not meant for, like, you're never going to be buying a coffee with Bitcoin, you're never going to be paying your taxes with Bitcoin, because it's like the transactions fees, it's not meant for an everyday currency, it's just a storage of wealth. Whereas Ethereum, you can't really make that argument because the network is sort of built for that. So it does need to solve these problems with Ethereum 2.0. But as you said, these smaller projects such as Cardano kind of already have. They just don't have the same. Here's my question. I don't know if you know it well enough to answer it. If Cardano sees the similar adoption, say we see the same amount of wallets as Ethereum, does it face the same problem? Is it only better because because
there's not as many people in the network?
Yeah, there's not as many people in the network.
It's definitely better. So
it's definitely
better. They do tests behind the scenes on their own networks before they release it on their own mainnet, with separate PCs to simulate the amount of transaction they can handle.
Right.
And that's kind of where they base their speed of transaction off, and that has shown that it can handle for the more people that come on, eventually it does get a little bit slower, but it's very fractional when it comes to some of these projects that have really handled their scalability issues properly.
Okay, interesting. So that's a bit of Cardano. We're not into price discovery mode, unlike Ethereum and Bitcoin at the moment. So let me answer a few questions from chat. If you have any questions, throw them in chat.
Do you want to look at Golem?
Let us know you're here. Oh yeah, we'll pull up Golem for Harry H. Thanks for asking some questions, Harry. Appreciate it. B, forgive my ignorance, but I wasn't around in crypto with CME futures, and I don't understand how it could cause a crash. Can anyone give a simple explanation? So yeah, back in 2017, when the Bitcoin CME futures launched, you can pretty much just buy contracts, betting on the future prices, and use derivatives to speculate about what the future prices of an asset will be. So when the Bitcoin futures launched through CME futures, there were a ton of short options and put options. And because everyone was betting on Bitcoin going down, it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy. It crashed. But I feel like it's easy to look back with 2020 hindsight, but I feel like everyone was sort of getting the sense that Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market had ran too hot at the end of 2017. So the CME futures launching at the end of 2017 played a factor. However, I don't think was the killing blow. I think it was just a contributor. I don't think we see the same thing happen with Ethereum. So who knows? We'll see how it plays out, but I wouldn't be too worried about it. It's just something to look out for. Ali Sami, I have some money to spare and invest. Which cryptocurrency do you recommend? Well, welcome to the stream and welcome to cryptocurrency. I think I'll just go from what I did and what I would say is the safest way. I would dip your toe in. I would start with Bitcoin and Ethereum. I would stick to those two at first. I would start reading everything you can about them, but I would have probably a 70% Bitcoin allocation, 20% Ethereum, and then 10% in more speculative. I would stick to probably the top 50 cryptocurrencies, but definitely dollar cost average. So don't put all your money into it. Don't see Cardano mooning. Don't see Dogecoin mooning and invest into them. I'd say put a little bit of money in now, enough money that you're not going to be watching the charts 24/7, or you're going to be freaking out. And dollar cost average. So every week, every paycheck, this is what I do every paycheck. I take a certain proportion out and I put some into Bitcoin, I put some into Ethereum, and then I put some into what I think is going to go well.
Mohammed says, is it already too late to dive into crypto? I think this is a perfect time. I think there's less risk. If you put it in perspective, I think there's less risk putting your money in crypto now than there ever has been, if that makes sense. So just disregarding price completely and looking at fundamentals, I think that now is the least riskiest time to buy Bitcoin that there ever has been. With all the institutional money we've seen coming in, all the retail money we've seen coming in, and yeah, all the adoption we're going to see in the near future, I think now is an awesome time to buy. Just make sure you don't lump something at once, as Jamie said. Dollar cost average over a period of time. Buy a little bit each week at the same time.
Alrighty, yeah. Welcome to the stream, Melvin Beamer. We'll get to your question, and Shadow Drift Gaming will get to your question as well. Welcome.
So my first thoughts looking at GLM. Golem, it's where you can buy and sell computing power. It's one of those cryptos that has functionality, but I can't see it running all the way up to the top 10, and I can't see it having.
What is it? Yeah, what
you
is
could,
it?
You could
so
risk.
It's 122. Okay.
I personally don't look at any. I just have a mental barrier for any cryptos below the top 50, or let's say top 60 or 70, in case some of them might fall down a bit. But yeah, I think the project looks okay, and I like the idea of it, but it's not something that I would personally dabble in. If you think that. I think it's something more to put, let's say, 2 or 3% of your portfolio in and hope that it moonshots. And if you make a lot of money and it turns into 30% of your portfolio, that's awesome. That's amazing. You've made some life-changing gains, but it's not something that I would all or nothing in, or look for long-term gains on.
Yeah. The only thing I'd add to that is I'm not loving this monthly chart, and down 18% over the last 24 hours. What you want to be looking at when you're looking at these altcoins is you want to be looking at them against the Bitcoin price. So all the cryptos are most likely going to be moving up over the next few months while we continue the bull cycle. But if they're not moving positively against the Bitcoin price, why are you holding these altcoins? I'd say the biggest, the most important reason you would be holding any of these altcoins, even to a degree Ethereum, is because you're going to be seeing bigger returns against Bitcoin. If these, especially factor into the risk of holding a 100, not even a top 100 coin. If you're not seeing increases against the price of Bitcoin, why aren't you just holding Bitcoin? Because I feel like at the end of the day, all you want is you want to be increasing your stack of sats. You want to be increasing your Bitcoin holdings. So yeah, that's a bit on Golem. I don't know much about the project, but yeah, that's my opinion on anything out of the top 50. A few of these other questions. Start with Melvin. My portfolio is 70-30 Ethereum, Bitcoin, and then some ADA, AAVE. Been stocking up on Zilliqa over the last few weeks. It looks promising. What do you think of Zilliqa?
I'm very bullish on Zilliqa. I think Zilliqa is going to be one of the top performers for the short term and potentially long term. I think Zilliqa is an awesome investment that everyone should be watching. I think it could easily, blow its way into the top 20 position. What it's offering on its platform is something that we need. We really, really need, especially if, with the news of Visa and Miami taking on crypto, we're going to need something that can handle the amount of scale that we need for cryptos. And yeah, with the speed of transactions and the fees that it costs to transfer is virtually nothing. So, that's definitely something that is solving an issue that is probably, if not the most relevant issue we have with cryptos right now. So yeah.
Grant actually did a video on Zilliqa, so maybe just run over, in a nutshell, the top 3 bull reasons and bull cases for Zilliqa. And maybe let's pull up the charts for some price action, because...
let's pull up Michael Van de Pops. Have we got it open here?
No, we don't.
How about I pull it up on my
phone?
I guess I could pull up my phone and show you. If you don't want to listen to my prediction, we got Mike. If any of you guys have heard of Michael Van de Pop, he's got a YouTube channel. He's big on Twitter. He's a day trader. I follow him very carefully. His analysis and technical analysis is on point and is always very insightful, but yet simple. He's one of those guys you want to watch in the space, alongside I think Benjamin Cohen and some. Those are the 2 biggest technical analysis guys I watch. And his prediction he's got on Zilliqa is $5 to $7, which I think is not that crazy of an estimate. It's definitely crazy for the short term if you compare the market cap positions right now. But with this bull run, I think Zilliqa will outperform a lot of the currencies in the top 50, because something like Golem that you posted, it's a good project and it's got I see where the value comes from. I just don't see it solving any any massive conversations that are happening with crypto issues right now. So that's probably the biggest reason why I'm so bullish on Zilliqa. What else can I talk about? I'm trying to think what else I put in that video.
If you guys want to look at a really good video on Zilliqa, Grant or his channel Crypto Shizo
on ShizoCrypto.
It's in the description. He put out a great price prediction for Zilliqa. It's really good. I didn't know much about Zilliqa until Grant sort of clued me in, but I think it's a really promising project. And if you're looking at altcoins to put some money into, would definitely recommend taking a closer look at Zilliqa.
That in mind, I would not recommend putting 100% of your portfolio in Zilliqa.
Yeah, no.
I would very much recommend putting at least a little bit in just to hedge against a lot of the other projects that are struggling with this issue, which is pretty much, Bitcoin and Ethereum, the 2 biggest players.
But yeah, very promising price action, promising chart. To the newer guys, it looks like there's a few newer guys into the crypto space in chat asking what to buy, what to stick to.
We've got, I'm also from Australia, what do you guys use to buy crypto coins? I use Binance. I find it the most intuitive and especially good for, if you're beginning, if you're, early to the scene, just make sure that it's a cheap platform that offers 0.1% trading fees. That's pretty standard for all the Australian ones. We're a little bit more limited in terms of what we can use to buy and sell our cryptos.
But yeah, would recommend Binance. Binance is great.
Yeah.
0.1%.
And it's got the highest. It's got the highest volume.
Yeah, great volume. So you're not going to see huge spreads. If you want to sell it, you're not going to have to chase a few $100s up. Like for example for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But whatever exchange you use, make sure it has 0.1% transaction fees, because anything more than that and you're just getting ripped off. Let's go for, what does Cardano mean? It's one of the altcoins. It's been running hard.
It's an Ethereum killer. It's also a smart contract.
It's a network coin. Here it is.
It's essentially strive to, perform the same action as Ethereum. Only it's done a little bit better. It just really doesn't have that sort of network and name effect that Ethereum does. That's a very short, description of what we spoke about in the live stream about it so far.
It wants to solve the problems that Ethereum are solving.
And it's already taking back some of the value. I mean, this is something that a lot of people have seen coming. It was just a matter of when, but
I mean, very positive price action. Very positive.
For a long time. So I don't think Cardano will ever be a bad buy. I still think Ethereum is a better buy and is a better store of value to put your money in for the majority of your portfolio as opposed to Cardano, but I have some Cardano at the moment. I would definitely recommend putting at least a portion of it in.
Yeah, we're talking about a lot of these altcoins, but for the newer people in chat, I would say make sure to have the majority of your portfolio in Bitcoin or Ethereum. You can't really go wrong with them. They're the big ones. I think they're going to perform well over the next few months. And make sure not to lump sum, dollar cost average if you're new to the game, and stick to Ethereum and Bitcoin.
And we've said it a few times, like a lot of the time, the reason why you're even buying these altcoins is to accumulate, Bitcoin. You got to think of Bitcoin as kind of the crypto cash, and that's why you look at the Bitcoin to coin spread. You always look at Ethereum to Bitcoin, and you look at Ethereum to AUD. But you wanna don't disregard the Ethereum to Bitcoin, because if just like buying stocks, you're trying to raise your wealth in terms of dollar. With buying altcoins, you're trying to raise your wealth in terms of Bitcoin. So for the most part. Let's look at some other questions we got. So when you spoke earlier about transferring your balance sheet to crypto, I assume this means you transferred all your liquid cash. So I assume you're talking about our business, and yes, that's correct. We essentially just took our liquid cash from our bank account and put it onto crypto.
So back in, we began in October last year. We started mining in September, and then we started moving to, we saw PayPal do it, we saw MicroStrategy do it, and we saw Square begin to adopt Bitcoin, and we wanted to transfer our liquid cash. We have a very high cash flow small business, and we had a lot of cash just sitting in the bank account. We wanted to invest it somewhere, and we followed the example of the sort of bigger progressive companies, and we started to put it into Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it's worked out really well so far. We began accepting payments in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and so far it's been really good. I think we'll do a video. It's really interesting, sort of our story, and converting our balance sheet into cryptos. It sort of introduced us into the crypto sphere in a way, baptism by fire. But it's been good. It's been good.
So someone said, is Cardano a good thing? Yes, it is a very good thing. It's very good because it is known as the Ethereum killer and Ethereum's kind of competitor. And, with our competition, you don't see, with competition, you see much more progression and, strive to be the number one. And if for the longest time, Ethereum had no competition or anything of this scale, but now that Cardano's taken back a lot of value, I think it's a very good thing. It's a very good thing. How much do you think ETH will drop?
And sorry for all the questions. Entering the Ethereum market a day at an all-time high, a day before the CME launch, good idea or bad? So there's similar questions about Ethereum dropping, and I think both sort of related to the CME futures. With anything and with any investment in crypto, I would dollar cost average. I never think it's a bad idea to sort of dip your toe in. Short answer with the CME futures, who knows what's going to happen? It was a negative effect back in 2017 with Bitcoin, and it sort of signaled the top. I think it's a completely different situation now. The data is suggesting prices above $2,000. So yeah, I think it's a completely different story, but I would play it safe, dollar cost average, and watch how it plays out over the next 24 hours. And ask as many questions as you want. We're loving it. Keep them coming. Thanks for joining the stream, everyone. Alrighty.
Is it a good idea entering a day at an all-time high? Again, are you in it for the long term or the short term? Because short term, it could be an adverse effect, and we could see a further dip down and see another small correction. But I'm going to be holding through for the long term. So I'm looking a little bit take a little scope back, look at all the fundamentals, and look at all the reserves and institutions and whatnot. So
look,
don't be disgruntled by it might look like a major correction, but for the long term, minor corrections. Let's see.
I do think the CME futures is going to lead. It's going to be positive for Bitcoin, and we see a bit of a return to the Bitcoin dominance. I think it's Bitcoin's turn to run a bit. The break above 40K was very positive, and CME futures, sort of, people are a bit worried about it. Sell the rumor, buy the news. Sell the news. Sell the rumor, buy the news. But no problem dollar cost averaging, dipping your toe in.
Do you think Cardano will compare once we see Ethereum 2.0? I have no clue on the technical depth of Cardano. It's hard to say. Obviously, Ethereum 2.0 is a good thing, and you'd think that it would obviously be very good for Ethereum. You'll just get a lot of people saying, "What's the point? Cardano's done this, but better and a long time ago." But there's a lot more names on Ethereum. Ethereum has its own massive name, and I think it will be positive for Ethereum. I think Cardano, it'll still perform well. I just don't think that it will have a massive effect on Cardano. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so this is my take on all these Ethereum killers, and a lot of the altcoins are sort of sold, and the gist of them is that they do what Ethereum and Bitcoin does, but they do it better. And a lot of the times they do. They are faster, they're cheaper to transact, and a lot of the ways they do it, they're better. However, this is why what I think people aren't using in their valuation, and they're discounting too much, is the network value that Ethereum and Bitcoin have. So once they get to a certain point, the innate value of an asset, like Ethereum, of a network, is based on how many users are using it, how many wallets it has, the adoption of it. So I think, people are underestimating the power of the network, the adoption and the stage that Ethereum already is at. I think a lot of the altcoins will struggle to get there, but don't discount them. I think we'll see big increases across the board, but don't discount Ethereum. I think just because it is a bit slower, a lot of it's based on how many people are using it, and ETH 2.0, they're going to continue to innovate. A lot of intellectual capital is coming into Ethereum. I wouldn't bet against Vitalik. He's a genius, and they're going to keep improving it. So yeah.
Definitely. Can't agree more. Any other questions that we've got?
Yeah, active addresses is the key. Raul's opinion, 100%. The dude has ways of speaking about it that just makes so much sense. He comes from sort of the big hedge fund world, and he knows how to speak about it. And his valuations, they make sense. 20,000 for Ethereum seems ridiculous, but the way he makes it seem reasonable.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? I think we might wrap it up soon. What do you reckon?
Yeah. Let's wrap it up. Any last questions before we?
We'll just wait maybe a couple minutes. Any last questions about any altcoins or any interesting projects you might have your eye on, or?
Oh, the question we missed was Ali Sami. Who are the guys that make on-point predictions? Two people I'd follow.
Oh, who are they?
Is Benjamin Cohen. He's really on point.
Michael Van de Pop.
Yep, Michael Van de Pop.
I'll quickly...
This channel.
Oh, you got it up, nice.
And the one that was spot on with his Bitcoin prediction was Max Kaiser. He nailed the 2020 prediction, and he has a 65,000 short-term Bitcoin target. Those are three. And Raoul Paul, the way he speaks on Ethereum, Bitcoin, and cryptos in general is really good. So I'd follow those four. They speak really well on it, have been accurate in the past. But look, being accurate in the past, who knows if they're going to be accurate in the future. But I'd recommend checking them out. Actually seeing a bit of a pullback on Ethereum and Bitcoin, so it looks like we wouldn't be buying at all-time highs at the moment. I think if we continue to see a pullback, it's going to present a nice buying opportunity. There's too much. We'll take a look at the data in, say, 48 hours and come back and do a live stream based on sort of supply leaving exchanges, what happens, sort of what unfolds with the CME futures. And we'll come back and take a look at the price action over the next 48 hours. But I guess our final predictions is we see a bit of a pullback over the next 2 days with Ethereum, just based off the news of the CME futures, and we see a bit of a return to the Bitcoin dominance. That's my prediction.
And just make sure you look at Michael Saylor on top of those other names I've said. He's the CEO of MicroStrategy, who have a lot of Bitcoin on their balance sheet as well, and they're trying to get other businesses on their balance sheet, as I'm sure most of you will know, unless you're new to the space. They're pretty much, they're an analyst company for businesses that helps people with their analytics and data and kind of turn that into functional information they can base a lot of their decisions off. And if they're giving advice to companies and they're also doing a summit showing businesses how to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet, he's got a lot of positive effect on the retail money going into Bitcoin. So really watch closely what he says as well, on top of those other names I've mentioned. The other names, there's kind of a mix of fundamental and technical guys there. Benjamin Cohen and Michael Van de Poppe do a lot of technical stuff, whereas Raoul Paul,
more of a
Michael Saylor,
macro guy.
Yeah, they're all good people in the space, but just make sure you're looking at all avenues of the income into crypto. So
yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more with Grant there. I'd say it's a good follow. A lot of people that are looking at the fundamentals. So yeah, Raoul Paul, Michael Saylor, and then follow a few guys that are looking at the technical analysis. Yeah, Benjamin Cohen, Michael Van de Poppe. They're great TA guys. If you guys follow, that's Grant's channel, ShizoCrypto, in chat. He does a lot of technical analysis, more technical based. If you drop a subscription to mine, I do a lot more fundamental analysis, and yeah, we'll both be doing a lot more live streams over the next few days. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out over the next few weeks and the bull cycle in general.
Yep. If you guys like that video, make sure you subscribe to both of us. We'll be doing this live stream. Oh, we're getting a few more questions. Honestly, we're doing more live streams in the future, hopefully a few times a week, maybe just usually around this time, but mainly a bit more random, just due to our schedules while we try to get a solid
schedule down. But
yeah, if you see our video and we were live a couple hours ago, still watch the video. It's not like we're not doing too much real-time stuff, real-time technical breaking news stuff. We talk a lot about fundamentals and our opinions, and hopefully try to simplify, because a lot of the information coming through can be a bit technical for new guys.
Pullback on ETH estimation, honestly, look,
1300.
Yeah, I don't think we see that low. I think we see mid 1400s worst case. But look, in terms of short-term predictions, it's complete speculation. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
CME futures, it's gonna, who knows what's gonna happen, honestly. Dollar cost average would be my final word of advice. Melvin Beamer, thanks for coming through. Harry H, thanks for asking all the questions. Hi Dali, thank you guys, thanks for coming out. Ali Sammy, thanks. And B, thanks for all the questions. It's been great having you guys and just watching the charts and speaking to you all. It's been great.
Just look at this graph. I can see a lot of touches at the top here with this a solid, point of support here. I think this will be a key point of support with three tops, and then moving upwards from that. That's extremely bullish, and that's
1450.
I can't really see us going below this sort of 1450. Just at an overlook, first.
Yeah.
General opinion.
Yeah, this previous resistance, it looks like it's going to turn into support. Worst case, if we bounce down to those levels. So,
and this, it would be.
I think it'd be a good price to buy it.
If we do come down to that point, that'd make a perfect Fibonacci retracement for us to just keep moving forward. So, I think that's what we've got in. Sorry about that. I think that's what we've got in store for us. Maybe if we do see a pullback down to the 1450, I say that we move up higher and stronger than we did previously. This whole thing makes you question my BTC holdings are moving to Doge. No sign of stopping. Honestly,
yeah. Is
it a bad time? Is it a bad time to buy now? I would have usually said no, but I mean yes, it is a bad time, but I have no idea. I don't even know where we're headed with Doge.
Who knows what Elon is going to do? But Puda My Cereal, love the name. We were saying before, 1 to 3% of your portfolio is a good idea to have in Dogecoin as an Elon Musk hedge, just in case he tweets out something ridiculous or it starts being pumped on TikTok, or if something happens, it's good to have 1 to 3% in Dogecoin.
Esteban just said that Super Bowl Doge commercial is going to blow Doge up. Okay. Wait, what Super Bowl commercial?
Wait, what?
Should we quickly have a look?
Yeah, I'm interested in this. Is there going to be a Super Bowl?
Oh god, I honestly wouldn't be.
If I had to guess,
who's funding this? Is this
is
just
it the Doge subreddit? Is this another
is
Jamaican bobsled?
Or the NASCAR?
Is this real?
Twitter fans make
it. Elon Musk is on it. Is this real? Elon made commercial leaked yesterday. I don't know if this is real. Why would
Elon leak a Super Bowl commercial?
Oh man!
All right, guys. I don't know about that one.
Yeah. On that note, I think we'll finish it up. We'll do a bit more research into this
Super Bowl commercial.
Elon
paid. Oh right.
Commercial. This will be interesting. We'll touch back on this on the next live stream.
Any quick final questions before we go? Because that one was pretty interesting, and I want to see what.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Thanks for pulling out.
Do you want to quickly just wait 10 minutes and see what I was going to say?
Let's wait a few minutes.
All right, we'll wait a few more minutes. We'll look at, if you want me to look at technicals, just real quick. I can give any quick looks or any altcoins you might have an idea about that I maybe could give some initial thoughts about. I'd be interested to see what you guys are just thinking off the top of your head. We've still got 20 people in here, so refresh that real quick.
Adam. Oh yeah, we didn't get to the Adam question.
Oh, and Adam. Let's open it up let's pull it up on here.
Adam, I'm not huge. I know a lot about Ethereum. I know a lot about Bitcoin. Oh,
where's its position?
It is ranked 19. So I like that it's in the top 50. Damn. I love
Absolutely
the chart
rocket
as well.
it up. I've never held Adam.
Yeah, slow solves the problems of slow, expensive, unscalable, and I don't know how it's environmentally harmful. What protocols are environmentally harmful? Is that like the mining?
I assume it's it has to be the mining.
Because it takes so much energy for mining. Okay. Look.
It's not a project that I've looked at, but these graphs are telling me otherwise, and it's had a massive run up. So good on you if you hold it.
Yeah. The thing, look, back to what we were saying about the Ethereum killers. I feel like every altcoin and its brother is the Ethereum killer, and they all preach to have better fundamentals, better transactions. They're faster, more scalable than than Ethereum and Bitcoin, but they don't have the value of the network. So, I mean, but the chart looks great. The chart looks phenomenal. Is it in price discovery? It looks like it.
It looks like it must have just hit its all-time high.
Nice. Yeah, so look, it looks promising. The whole reason to hold altcoins, in my opinion, is to increase your Ethereum and Bitcoin stack, which it looks like Cosmos will continue to do. It looks good. It looks really good.
Let's quickly look. I just want to quickly
It reminds me of similar to Nano, a network that could actually be used as a payment system.
Just my 2 cents on some of these smaller, I mean, not like Adam, but on smaller altcoins compared to this one. You got to look at the team behind it, see what kind of projects they've done, and look at their track record. You can find that kind of information on LinkedIn and their website, and then maybe look up some of the guys. Look at their socials, look how active they are interacting with their community and their posts and their blog posts, see if they're actually updating their project and how fast they're doing it after that. Look at their value in Bitcoin bull markets. See if they're staying up strong or if people are dumping as soon as Bitcoin goes up and it's at the bottom of their what's called on their food chain. If they're just dumping it, putting that into Bitcoin because they have the least faith in it. Look at their Reddit. Look at all these kind of things on their socials, and because that's really pretty much the only things you can look at with these smaller projects. You can't really just look at their project and say, oh, that's a really good idea, and then dump a large portion of your portfolio in, because if you're the only one that believes so, then there's a high chance that you could get burned. So
yeah, definitely 100% agree. Yeah, wise words to follow.
Put 2 minutes. Let's read these. My advice is, you're a noob messing with Doge, be very careful and really possibly get burnt. Do not, if you're coming into crypto and Doge is your first purchase, I cannot advise more against buying Doge. What do you think? What do you have to say about
Yeah,
that?
B, exactly right. As we said before, something like 1 to 3% as a hedge against Elon, as a hedge against TikTok, as just like a very speculative moonshot holding. I would, maximize on Ethereum and Bitcoin. Like we've seen, I mean, Doge has pulled back a lot. It's up 21% because Elon's pumping it on Twitter again, but it's still up like 700% over the last like month. So still a very risky holding. Remember that the Dogecoin supply is not capped. I don't even know how you'd value something like Dogecoin.
I know Elon says that uncap is a bad idea, but traditionally that's how currency have worked. They've been printed.
I mean, let's not forget that every dollar on Earth has an uncapped supply. So
so is that?
Is it a negative? Like,
because we lose Bitcoin as wallets get lost, and over how much Bitcoin can just constantly be halved, I guess.
Yeah.
To a certain point.
Yeah. So it's deflationary, and Dogecoin is definitely the opposite. But is it necessarily a bad thing?
It's very debatable.
Yeah.
I think it is a bad thing from track record of how the dollars and how fiat currency has been printed, but this isn't printed by an entity, so it's uncapped, so it's kind of produced organically. Is that a good thing? I'm not sure.
Yeah, but 1 to 3%. I don't think you can go wrong with. It's not going to keep you up at night, and it might increase to like 10 to 15% of your portfolio if Elon keeps pumping it, if TikTok pumps it. So
and that's I 100% agree. Yeah, could not have said it better myself.
Yeah,
1 to 3%. When did I buy ADA? I think I bought it. Let's look at what price it was when I jumped on.
that's the against Ethereum.
Oh, whoops. Bitcoin. I jumped on at around November last year. August, September, October, November, maybe mid-November. Around here, I think. I got on just after this mini bull run here. And I've been taking profits along the way. I own a very small amount now. I've taken a lot of my profits just because I kind of want to see what other projects are doing in the space at the moment. I don't not believe in ADA. I just want to see what other projects are doing in the space at the moment.
Never feel bad about taking profits, guys.
Oh, you start in July. Nice. Good on you. I hope you made life-changing gains.
Yeah, you would have made some huge gains. Very nice. Very, very nice.
Any last questions, or should we just wrap it up?
Yeah, let's just wrap it up. John Osborne, we got into the crypto sort of September last year when we converted our small business balance sheet into cryptos.
We bought Bitcoin.
Yeah, we bought Bitcoin and Ethereum for the small business, and then personally we started sort of buying across the board. So
we don't have anything on our balance sheet other than Ethereum and Bitcoin.
On our business balance sheet, but then personally we hold a few other things. So awesome. Thanks everyone for coming out to the stream. We're gonna wrap it up here just because where we are, it's about to go midnight. So
damn, GG, you front ran it.
We got in right before.
That's the only way to do it. So
not as much as you, but
all right. Thanks guys so much for watching. We'll live stream again some point throughout the week. Save any questions you have for no worries, man. Save any questions you have for the next stream, and we'll try to answer them.
Yeah, we'll jump on again. We'll get a schedule up so we can answer these, and we'll look into that Dogecoin Elon commercial. But thanks everyone.